Hello, everyone. This is Darcinovia here once again with another video. And, well, I don't know what I'll talk about this time. We'll figure it out as things go along. Who knows what I'll talk about today? I do not intend to have a guest this time, so if you want to come on, I'm sorry, but I want this to be a solo stream this time. You're welcome to watch the stream, though. I just don't really want to have guests today. So, what am I going to talk about? Well, I'm just going to give it a few minutes to see, just to get a few more people to watch so I actually have people to engage with. Considering the fact that, the whole point of these streams is to talk to my audience, interact with my audience. And as for the thumbnail, I'll discuss that in a bit. So, yeah, I'm just going to, share this in some Discord groups to make it easier to find for my fellow, Marxists or whatever you want to call them, that are on Discord. I'm just going to share it. So just give me a second. I'm going to do that first. That's the beauty about editing. I can edit, this part out when I get to the actual topic. So at some point, I will actually discuss it. All right. All right. So let's see. Okay. Oh God. I don't watch infrared's debates. I prefer. The only thing I do know is the other Carl debated infrared, and I don't really want to spend 3 hours of my time watching something like that. So I'm so sorry. I have no comment on that. I've not seen Black Widow yet. I'll probably see it in the future. It never interests me, to be honest with you. I personally think that Marvel should have waited no later than after Civil War to do the Black Widow movie. Doing it after Avengers Endgame, it's like, who cares? This character's dead and gone. Why the hell do they even bother? There is no point in the thumbnail. That's the point. It's to mislead people. I'm not even going to talk about Darth Jar Jar. I just did it, as a way to fuck with people. No. No, I don't intend to do that again. I do not. I prefer doing my rants without showing my face, if I have to be honest with you. I'd rather just do it like this. In this format that I've been doing for the past month, I think it's, I do a rant, I talk about a subject, and then I edit it. So I could, have the best parts of my streams actually be their own video. Broden, thoughts on Broden? Honestly, after the B-level situation, I don't really have problems with Broden. He stays out of my way. I stay out of his way. That's just how I look at it. We were both fucked by that sociopathic fascist. So I'm not going to, say whatever I think of Broden. Broden, could do what he wants if he, as long as he, leaves me alone, I leave him alone. That's just something mutual. But I don't want to talk about other people. Now, let's see. There's only 4 people watching so far. I really do not know what I'm going to actually talk about this time. Hey, what's up? Sorry for blocking you that one time. When Boraman freaking came with his fucking army of a fucking accounts, it was pretty difficult to find, which account was real, which ones wasn't. And considering how glitchy my fucking piece of shit computer was, I blocked the wrong person. It has nothing to do with that, actually. Though it's part of it. The reason I don't like showing my face on camera, because it's just easier to edit videos with, just doing audio only. And I just don't like showing my face on camera, honestly. I actually do a lot better, when I actually talk, using, my actual voice rather than just show my face. Of course he is. Oh, man. You just gave me an idea of what to talk about, Christopher Parker. Middle class fucking entitlement. This complaining about mask mandates, it's this middle class fucking entitlement. It's people that are complaining about doing common fucking sense measures. They have no good reason to be violently against wearing a mask. They have no good reason to be this way. It's just their irrational, stupid, privileged bullshit because they're inconvenienced. It's fucking middle class people that mostly complain about this shit in the first place. It's not fucking poor people who are already fucked anyway. It's a bunch of middle class fuckheads that think, that the bad government is fucking cracking their skull because they have to wear a goddamn mask. It's like, oh my fucking God. I'm sorry. I have nothing but contempt for these people. They're the reason why, the coronavirus, why we still are fucking dealing with it. And why we'll be dealing with it for decades, because these stupid motherfuckers think that fucking wearing a goddamn mask, is freaking so inconvenient. That, oh my God, the mask is a form of oppression. It's like, fuck off. Seriously. People in fucking third world countries have to fucking deal with freaking fascist fucking backed governments by the United States. They have to deal with fucking starving to death. They have to deal with fucking bullshit by the United States. They have to fucking, people in Palestine who live in the freaking biggest open-air prison in the world have to freaking look over their soldiers every fucking day because the fucking Zionist fascist state of Israel is bombing them. It's like, that is fucking oppression. Not fucking, a fucking mask and being forced to wear a fucking mask and doing common fucking sense. It's like I have nothing but contempt for the middle class. I really do. It's the middle class that are complaining about this the loudest. It's the middle class that constantly fucking complain about the stupidest shit because, oh my God, I have to fucking wear a fucking mask. God forbid. It's fucking usually fucking white people. But unfortunately, I can't use that argument against someone like, Young Ripa. But it doesn't fucking matter. It's the same fucking shit because he fucking still talks like a white guy. He still acts like one. He fucking still has an audience of fucking white people. It's like, that's all this fucking guy is. He is one of the faces of this entitlement fucking bullshit. It's like, oh my God, I have wearing a mask is government oppression. It's like, fuck off. Seriously, fuck off. There's people in America that are actually suffering oppression, and nobody blinks a fucking eye. But, oh my God, I have to wear a goddamn mask, so that's a fucking problem? Do you think I like wearing a mask? Do you think I freaking like putting those goddamn things on my face? No, I don't. I fucking hate it as well. But you know what? You don't hear me fucking bitch about it, because I do what's required to protect myself and people around me. These people are a bunch of sociopathic narcissists that don't fucking give a fuck about anyone but themselves. They view any fucking sort of common sense as being authoritarian. It's like they have no reason to act like this. They're just looking at a reason to fucking act like a bunch of dumb motherfuckers because, the government is telling them what to do. it's ridiculous. Fuck, these entitled fucking bitches. They think that doing anything that's common sense, doing anything that actually protects, people who can't even get the fucking vaccine, mind you. That's another fucking thing I'm gonna fucking, get fucking ranty about. It's like there's a difference between being skeptical of the vaccine and purposely, spreading fucking propaganda, these anti-vax propaganda, which fucking endangers, fucking millions of people because of their fucking bullshit about fucking wearing a mask or fucking getting the vaccine. And there's people that can't get the vaccine either because, of health complications. But they don't care about that. They don't care about that. These fucking useful fucking idiots are just going to be used as an excuse to fucking, shame people who don't get the vaccine. And not everybody can get the vaccine, which makes it even worse. They're going to be, lumped in the same fucking, stupid, irrational bullshit as these fucking anti-vaxxers and anti-maxers. It's ridiculous. And some of these people, when they complain, oh, I can't wear a mask because, I have a difficult time breathing. Motherfucker, if a fucking furry can fucking be in some creepy fucking suit for fucking, a long period of time and do some weird goddamn shit, you can wear a goddamn mask. I mean, there's no goddamn excuse. There's no goddamn excuse. It's like, oh my God, look at me. I'm so oppressed. I'm so oppressed. It's like, there's a huge goddamn difference between being skeptical of the COVID vaccine and spreading misinformation that endangers people. Young Rip is a fucking moron. He really is. He wouldn't know what a fucking leftist is if they were in their face. These people are milquetoast fucking liberals that just ask for common sense. That's the thing with these fucking stupid, I'm just gonna call them middle class fascists. Like, even doing anything that's moderately, to the center is considered far to the left. It's like fucking Christ Almighty. How many times must we go through this? The Delta variant is going to fucking hit us hard. And these people aren't taking this shit seriously. They're spreading fucking misinformation about vaccines. They're spreading misinformation about wearing a mask. Hell, you have fucking stupid motherfuckers on the left that are doing this too. I know I forgot the name of this woman on Twitter, but fucking I forgot what show she's a part of. So I think somebody could freaking, actually, you might be able to say her name. Her name escapes me at the moment, but she's doing the same goddamn thing. Yet people in Caleb's camp, which I know, I usually said Caleb's camp because she went on Caleb's show or Caleb went on her show, that are spreading this fucking misinformation too. It's like, I'm sorry, simply being anti-fucking Democrat doesn't fucking mean a goddamn thing. Just simply being anti-establishment doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, he is part of the death cult. He's a fucking fascist. Oh, I fucking hate those people, Falcone. I really do. I consider them fascist enablers. Considering the fact that the kind of people they platform were fascists. That one time when they were fucking bending over backwards to defend, Jimmy Dore platforming that fascist, the Boogaloo boy, or that fucking stupid bitch, like fucking defending fucking, her fucking rightist position on vaccines. It's like, yeah, those fucking people do nothing but spread misinformation. It's like, they're no different from the fucking Republicans. It's like, I can't stand these people. Honestly. Yes, there are. There are. I don't know if they're anti-mask, but I know they're anti-vaxxers. Yeah, she's a fucking useful idiot, and she calls everyone who fucking, calls her out on her fucking bullshit as an authoritarian or a fascist. Like, fuck off, bitch. Seriously. You're spreading misinformation that's going to get thousands of people killed. Hell, some of them being your followers. Because, you have this, childish fucking, view on politics. It's like Biden bad. It's like, no, every fucking part of the political establishment is bad. It's like, both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans are fucking denying fucking what's going on, and they're fucking adding more fuel to the fire, and they're supposed to be fucking leftists. No, that fucking lady is a fucking right opportunist, and she doesn't even see it. Oh, yeah, there should be proof that you have the vaccine. You should fucking, if you have the vaccine, you should fucking show proof. I don't fucking care. Is that authoritarian? Fuck you. Honestly, you don't get to endanger people because you don't fucking want to do the right thing. If you're not willing to get the vaccine, keep the goddamn mask on. It's like, it isn't just, freaking people that, don't wear a mask or can't wear a mask or have the vaccine that they are endangering. They're endangering everybody else. They don't care. It's just an excuse to be fucking stupid. Oh yeah, those people are crypto fascists. Then again, I would say that they're just useful idiots. Like they're so stupid that they don't even, realize just how dumb they fucking are. There's a reason why fucking a lot of people on the left don't like them, because freaking they're condescending, just like freaking the people that Caleb, associates themselves with, and they fucking are pushing stupid fucking brain dead positions. Like anybody that pushes anti-vax position to me is a problem. Anti-vaxxers have a freaking coalition with other far right groups, and if you're gonna push, anti-vax propaganda, you're pushing far right propaganda. You are, whether you're aware or not, you are pushing far right propaganda, because all these things, are connected. Anti-vaxxers, Christian extremists, fascists. Hell, you have the fucking Proud Boys the other fucking day, fucking acting violently, and not even that far from where I live. Los Angeles isn't even that far where I live, and you have these fucking crazy, psychotic, insane people doing this shit. Yet those fucking people will defend those acts. It's like, oh, they're just fighting against an authoritarian government. And they're fucking just like... And then, here's another thing that's really fucking stupid about these fucking people. And I put Young Ripa in the same bracket as them. Oh, it's authoritarian to have a vaccine passport. We've had vaccine passports for so many goddamn years that I can't name a time we haven't had them. That we've had them for generations. You can't go to a country without being vaccinated. It doesn't matter if it was, before COVID or during COVID. You had to do it. And is it authoritarian? No. It was a requirement. And these fucking people are just using anything to push their anti-vax agenda. Yeah. They fucking defend, freaking Tulsi Gabbard, who's a literal fucking fascist. Yeah, they're fucking, Tulsi, Gabbard stands. That's what all they are. Yeah. Yeah, they're Brown Alliance. They're pro-Brown Alliance. And I know people are like, oh, Darcenovia, the Red-Brown Alliance is just a conspiracy theory. No, it is not. When you have people pushing for a far-right and far-left alliance, and it's being open now about it now, but they want to pretend it isn't, it's like they think we're fucking idiots. I'm sorry. It's like, is it really a red-brown alliance when some of these people are right opportunists in the first place? It's like, no. When you're spreading misinformation on COVID and the vaccine, you're no different from the right. So I don't care if you're on the left or you're on the left of the right. And if you do this, you're no different than a fucking right-winger spreading, anti-vax bullshit. There's a difference between being anti-vax and being skeptical of vaccines. There's a fucking difference. You know, I am still skeptical of the COVID vaccine, despite getting, you know, the first shot of the Pfizer vaccine. I'm still skeptical of the damn thing. I'm not going to spread misinformation using my platform to endanger some of my viewers by encouraging them not to get it, because that's not what I fucking do. Because I'm fucking responsible with the power that's been given to me. These people aren't. Shame on anyone that actually defends this nonsense. And yeah, I don't give a flying fuck, honestly. Anybody that spreads, you know, misinformation, who is supposedly on the left, you know, they are irresponsible. It is irresponsible to use your power that's been given to you and use it to spread misinformation and do the same thing that the right does. As far as I'm concerned, you know, when you do that, you're just a right opportunist and you're not really serious about building a socialist movement in America. Yes, that is true. Okay, now to get on to the next topic, actually, because I think I'm pretty much done with you know, topic regarding, you know, the anti-vax and mask. Yeah, that is a good point. Now, I'm going to elaborate on this. We have to work with reactionaries, whether we want to admit it or not. It's infantile to do otherwise. But there's a difference between working with, you know, reactionaries who with reactionary views who just want, you know, a better world for their children. They just want, you know, to feed their families. There's a difference between that and working with literal fucking fascists. Not all reactionaries are fascists. I think that's just one thing we need to, you know, make it clear is reactionaries are not all fascists. It's just nonsense to say otherwise, because they're not all fascists. And honestly, I agree about socialism for all regarding that. Okay, now I'm going to look up some questions. Honestly, let's see if there's any good. Jesus, I'm just looking. I'm looking. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking. Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm looking for comments before I continue. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is a classic. Honestly, there is no difference between the Mappanites and BreadTube. They're almost the same thing, for God's sake. They're just... Okay, I'm not going to rant about freaking Caleb Mappin. Not here. I know, that was funny. I have to research that. I have no thoughts on it right now. Now, I know earlier someone brought up Afghanistan and my thoughts about that. If that to be real, I have to research that more. And I think Afghanistan deserves its own stream and not a disorganized stream like this. So I'm gonna have to do some research first and maybe arrange for a Afghanistan stream. So for right now, at this moment, I cannot talk about Afghanistan without researching it more. I know, you know, what's going on generally, but I just do not have enough information to do anything on Afghanistan on the spot right now. Yeah. I just had to address that, Christopher Parker. I cannot do that right now. I'd have to do a separate stream, you know, altogether that is specifically talking about Afghanistan. So until then, I cannot talk about it. Yeah, they should. I know one thing for sure, that they're advocating for the fucking we should stay in Afghanistan. It's like, of course they think that. Imperialism is fucking something they always will support. It's just these people are just freaking the only it's only appearances that they care about the people in Afghanistan. No, they just serve the agenda of the Democratic Party. Honestly, I don't care. No, I don't think so. Actually, it has nothing to do with that. It's just I don't have enough information, and I need enough time to research Afghanistan. A lot more. Like, as its own stream. In that stream, I'll probably get some guests to talk about that topic, along with myself. So no, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I don't have any thoughts on that. Yeah, draft bread tube. That's funny. Draft bread tube. Now, honestly, regarding, why the fuck did I just choose the fucking thumbnail that I chose regarding Jar Jar Binks? I don't know. I just fucking did it for the hell of it. Jar Jar Binks, there's a lot more to this character than any of us fucking realize. Jar Jar Binks is the key to everything. Jar Jar Binks, unfortunately, is the Sith Lord everyone was looking for, and nobody was able to see that Jar Jar Binks is that fucking Sith Lord. Jar Jar Binks was actually behind everything, and I mean everything in the Star Wars saga. He was behind the war with the Clone Wars. Do you think Jar Jar Binks was as stupid as he's portrayed in the prequel trilogy? No, Jar Jar Binks was way smarter than even Palpatine. You think Palpatine was the one in charge? No, Jar Jar Binks is Darth Plagueis. That's why I had the thumbnail, because I want to talk about the theory that Jar Jar Binks is Darth Plagueis. He's been Darth Plagueis. It's been confirmed. Darth Plagueis never died, and whatever how he's portrayed in canon, he transferred his consciousness to Jar Jar Binks, and he's been hiding in plain sight. Jar Jar Binks is the key to everything. Jar Jar Binks is the Sith Lord everyone's been looking for. And why is Palpatine acting the way he was? Because he's Jar Jar Binks in the sequel trilogy. Jar Jar is, Palpatine. Oh, fuck. Why did I even say that? I was just... Okay, that was random. Jar Jar Binks is Kamala Harris. Favorite Zelda game? Majora's Mask, no contest. You cannot experience war without being... Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about it, though. That I cannot talk about Afghanistan. I can still talk about Afghanistan. Oh, God. Let's see. Okay. I don't really care if they renamed Slave One. If I have to be honest, who cares? It's like, oh my god, oh my god, Lucasfilm has an agenda of changing freaking everything about Star Wars. It's like, yeah, whatever. Nobody outside the fucking a bunch of internet dwelling fucking fanboys care that Slave One's name was changed. In fact, most Star Wars fans don't even know it's called Slave One. I mean, who gives a shit if they change the name? Who gives a shit? I'm just fucking saying, like, who gives a shit? It's like, of all the things you could be complaining about in Star Wars, you're complaining about the name of a ship that was never named in any of the fucking movies. It's like, who cares? It's a name change. The ship is still the same design. But it's like, and most fans who don't even read the books, who don't pluck it, who don't play the games, are just gonna think that Boba Fett's ship is just Boba Fett's ship. So yeah, who cares what its name is called? Honestly, I don't have any thoughts on the Bad Batch yet, Falcon. I haven't renewed my Disney Plus. I'm not going to renew my Disney Plus until I want to, I feel like watching, stuff on Disney Plus. So I cannot give my thoughts on it. Yeah, Jeff Bezos is the real life Lex Luthor. He truly is the real life Lex Luthor. Let's see. I still don't care, to be honest. It's just a goddamn ship. It's not like the Millennium Falcon, which the Millennium Falcon has a name in the actual movies. Same thing with the X-Wings. It's like, I just do not care. It's not a big deal that they changed the name. I mean, names for ships change all the damn time. In fiction and in real life. So I just do not care. Who knows? Boba Fett could have changed the name of Slave One to avoid attention by the New Republic. Who knows? It's like it's just something that I just don't really care about ranting about. It's just, of all the things to be complaining about, it's fucking that. I'm just, it is dumb, but I just don't care about, about that. Okay. All right. Let's see. See if there's anything good reacting to. Let's see. Sorry, people. I'm just looking. It's, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's kind of loud right now. Where I'm at. Favorite Mario game? Mario Brothers 3. See, it's not. I'm not gonna lie that this stream, doesn't have the momentum the last one had. All right, let's see. I'm just looking. All right. I just do not want to fucking react to a Young Riffa video or anything by those fucking, fandom menace clowns. It's just, there's only so many times you can react to it. All right, I can see. All right, I have nothing. Maybe some of the people in my audience can give me some ideas of what to talk about, because I am at a loss at the moment, actually. I guess I'll just have to talk about, why Mario Brothers 3 is my favorite Mario game in the meantime, because it's the only thing I can think of on the top of my head. Mario Brothers 3 is my favorite Mario game because I think Nintendo perfected the formula that they established in the first Mario Brothers. And of course, the version of Mario Brothers 3 that I think of when I think of Mario Brothers 3 is not the NES original, but the All-Stars remake. Now, and make it be considered blasphemy for some that to play the Super Nintendo version first, and mostly the Super Nintendo version. It's, well, back in the 1990s when I was a kid, I couldn't, get a NES, and I was not old enough to play an NES. So when I played Mario Brothers 3 for the first time, it was the Super Nintendo version. And it was probably the game I played the most in that collection. I played that more than any of the other Mario games. It's just Mario Brothers 3 from its level design, its power-ups, its soundtrack. I just think it's the most memorable of the 2D Marios. I'll address this one first. Did you see? Oh, I saw Danky's video. My comment section's there. And so is that condescending fascist that I will not name, who claims to, oh my God, look at me. I'm part of a real communist party. Even though that communist party is literally a fucking Fed party. And I talk like I fucking smoked a bunch of cigarettes for 50 years. That was a joke, but yeah. 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 Sorry if you guys can hear the noise. My roof in my house is being fixed as I'm recording this, so just ignore that noise. Way to roast B-level. Way to roast B-level. What the fuck would I do for be liberal? Oh, I don't even want to hear. I can't even stand hearing that little fuck's voice. Oh God, I hate fucking B-level. I don't want to fucking even hear his goddamn voice. His fucking voice makes me want to fucking have a brain aneurysm. It's like hearing his fucking voice makes me want to bang my head against the wall. I just can't fucking stand B-level. The very idea of hearing that little fucking, piece of shit, snake speak just makes me ill. Actually, if I have to be honest with you. And it's like, he's such a fucking clown. It's like, he lives in Canada, yet he wants to, support socialism with American characteristics. It's so fucking stupid and infantile. Wouldn't it make more sense to support, Canadian socialism or something? Why fucking speak so much about America? I mean, he should stick to his own goddamn country instead of fucking talking down to fucking, American fucking communists that are actually fucking doing their goddamn work. And the way he was talking to Danky in that fucking stream that Danky, did, yesterday, by the way, everybody should fucking watch it. Danky King is the fucking shit. Danky knows his shit. And you actually had a good and mature conversation about the topic of patriotism. And honestly, in my opinion, everybody should watch that Danky King video with an open mind. And he does give a nuanced take on it. And here's the thing. We should listen to fucking Danky. Yes, he's an ML. Who gives a shit? I don't care if people don't share my third worldist tendencies. I care about who is correct and who is fucking full of shit. And Danky is one of the few MLs I can say gets it. He understands, why American patriotism is bad, why the American fucking flag is fucking bad. He gets it. He really, really gets it. He really fucking gets it. It's like anybody that says that fucking, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand communism. Could go fuck themselves. I don't want to be lectured by some fascist who isn't even a communist, who freaking is part of a fucking party that's fucking basically controlled by the Democrats. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, the fucking CPUSA is nothing but controlled opposition. Anyone that supports the CPUSA, whether they live in America or whether they live in Canada, are useful fucking idiots. Nobody's going to convince me that they're not useful idiots. If you're going to freaking, be part of a communist party, why are you going to be part of a party that is supported by the literal fucking feds? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, he fucking does. He sounds like someone who lives in California. And that fucking triggers me even more because I fucking hate, fucking California. California is a fucking shithole. I fucking hate this place. Nobody can even describe to me what would that look like. Socialism with American characteristic. It's as infantile as American communism. Okay. How would you establish that? What is it? What is America? What is America? I'm serious. Do you not know American history? America has a history of racism and genocide. It's like, when I think of socialism, American characteristics, I think of National Socialism, not fucking real socialism. That's not what I associate it with. Oh, God. I fucking hate... Yeah. He's like the Ben Shapiro of fucking Canada. I fucking can't stand him. Honestly, I really don't. Yeah, they're both great. They gave a good, nuanced take. It wasn't emotional. They probably did a take better than I probably could on the subject. And honestly, they gave a good argument for, why flag burning is not the greatest idea, even though I think it's fucking base. But I do see why flag burning is probably something that's not a good idea. And I'm going to give my opinion about that. I don't encourage flag burning, not because I don't think it's the right thing to do, fuck the American flag, but because the state will clamp hard on you if you do so. We don't want to be in prison. We're not going to be used to anyone if we are behind bars, which is another reason why I don't advocate burning the flag. Honestly. Yeah, join the PRP. Yeah, it is correct. Yes. Now, okay, I know some people, are not going to agree with it, but I advocate, that we don't burn the American flag, not because I don't think we shouldn't, but because, in some places you can go to jail for doing it. You're not going to do any good, to anyone if you're in jail. And not to mention, yeah, I agree. You don't burn the American flag out of the blue. It's like, fuck America, and not give any context for why you're burning the flag. That is stupid, ultra leftist, bullshit. You don't fucking burn something without, context. Okay. You want to know an example of this, of, burning the American flag with context behind it? Look at countries that suffer, from oppression from the United States. They burn the American flag. They burn the Zionist flag. What's the context? They're protesting against a brutal occupation against, use Israel as an example, against Israel and the United States for supporting Israel. There's context. If you burn the American flag, just because, this is fucking cool, I want to burn the American flag. It's like being a fucking edgelord and burning the American flag, out in public isn't going to do anything but, make you look like some crazy person if you don't even give a good reason to do it. And not to mention going to jail, for no good reason, you don't serve the cause. You're just going to jail, wasting years of your time, and by the time you get out, you're all fucked up, and you most likely lost everything. It's like, no, you want to be healthy physically and mentally. You don't burning the American flag and going to prison for it just because you want to be an edgelord is not fucking worth it. Yes, it does matter. Context does matter. Yeah. Yeah, let's burn that instead, because the CPUSA doesn't stand for anything. It never has, honestly. Okay, maybe that's not true. Maybe it once stood for something. But the modern incarnation of the CPUSA is nothing but controlled opposition for, the Democratic Party. If you're part of the fucking CPUSA and you're a communist, you're not only a fascist enabler, you're a coward who is unwilling to actually stand against this state. Because if the CPUSA was this great party, why does it not have support amongst the people? Why do most of the people that I talk to who aren't, and I'm going by people offline, normal fucking human beings that they're not Marxists, they're just normal people who are just trying to make ends meet. If they've never heard of the party, then your party is a fucking failure. And if it's people that are like, especially when they're people that are 50 plus years old who have been alive for like half of this party's existence and they don't even know what the party is or never heard of them, your party is a fucking failure. It really is a fucking failure. Then again, the CPUSA, the only thing I see is a bunch of fucking weirdos freaking preaching American, socialism with American characteristics, or fucking China, or fucking simp for fucking China. That's all I fucking see. I see a bunch of fucking weirdos. Even though there's a lot of people in America that are apprehensive against China, how are you going to win their support when you're constantly saying, oh, China, did nothing wrong, or China is so based, or China is doing this, China is doing that. It's like, no, people don't give a shit about what's going on in China. People want to know, what are you going to do for them? How are you any different? What are you going to offer them that's going to benefit them? Because people don't give a shit about ideology. That is one thing people need to understand. People don't care about, tendencies either. Like, the average American just doesn't give a shit if you're a fucking Marxist, Leninist, or if you're a freaking Maoist. They don't care. What they care about is what you're going to do for their communities. Why were the Black Panthers so popular for a time? Because they focused on what matters. The people of the CPUSA, they don't fucking understand people. The only people that they fucking, are interested in are fucking people of their own class. Nobody fucking, wants to listen to these people. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it is. It really fucking is. And I just think, that they fucking don't push for revolution. They just push for an infantile freaking idea of reform, which Rosa Luxemburg fucking argued over a century ago that fucking reform is infantile, because it is infantile. It's infantile to constantly push for a failed strategy that hasn't worked, never will work. And the only people that are pushing for such infantile movements like reform are middle class freaking Marxists, and I use this word in quotations because I don't fucking know if they are Marxists or not, who freaking don't fucking actually want to actually build a movement. They just want to have those nice reforms. It's like Americans, do not freaking give a shit what you are when it comes to your tendencies. What they want is to know is, are you going to do something for them? Are you a representative of the people? That is what Americans care about. And these freaking people hiding, like a bunch of dishonest, snakes about what they are and who they are. It's like, I'm sorry. The masses aren't as fucking dumb as you think they are. Especially poor people who know fucking you're full of shit. If you fucking say shit about China, they're going to fucking know you're full of shit about socialism with American characteristics. They're going to know that. It's like, what we need to do is be honest about what we want to do and what we're going to do if we ever were to take power. Not fucking try to hide behind something that could theoretically happen but never will, because the fucking American government will not allow it to happen. The ruling establishment will never allow it to happen. It's like reform is such a useless fucking idea. It's like the very fact that there are communists in this era that still believe in reform just goes to show you just how infantile the communists are in the first world. It's only the third world we have communists that actually are serious about revolution. It's not a fucking, oh, I'm just going to join a club and just shout a bunch of slogans. Yeah, Lenin, Stalin, look at me. I'm a fucking communist. Even though, yeah, when you fucking go out in the fucking public and people look at you, it's like, wow, what a fucking weirdo. When I became a third worldist, when I actually started to become a third worldist, do you know what happened? I actually managed to talk to people, who are skeptical of communism, and managed to actually get them to see my point far more effectively than when I was an ML who was defending the Soviet Union, defending Venezuela, defending every socialist country, in quotations, that exist. Rather than actually explain my position, I focused my time defending those past experiments when I should actually tell these people and explain to them and be honest with them what needs to be done in order to build such a system. It's like these people aren't honest. And you know what happened when I started explaining to them, why the Soviet Union was the way it was? They actually were surprised and was willing to actually listen. That's the difference. That's a huge difference it makes. You have to talk to people like human beings in order to actually get them to listen to you. And if you engage with them enough, they may actually see socialism as a viable alternative to what they believe. That's how you fucking convince people, to actually support you. You don't do it by talking down to them or treating them like they're an idiot. Because that's what I did when I was a fucking AML, and it got me nowhere. I was never able to talk to people honestly about Marxism because I was too defensive of the Soviet Union. No, you have to focus on treating people as human beings and looking at them as human beings first. The average person does not give a shit about, who Stalin was or Mao or all these other leaders. They don't care. What they care is what's in front of them. What do you have any alternative for them, or do you actually care about them, or are you willing to support them? We have to support the people. That's what we need to do, not freaking be so concerned with freaking tendencies. This Puritan bullshit. Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So I'm just gonna, thoughts. I cannot comment at this time about that party, actually. Well, and that's the thing regarding reform. You need support from the military, and the military aren't going to support a socialist revolution in America, especially in this country, considering they're in the pockets of these, military contractors that they will violently put such a freaking movement down before it even gets anywhere. Yeah, it is. It really is. And that is the thing, honestly. The Panthers did have good theories. Honestly, the Panthers progressed further than any communist movement in this country's entire history. They came the closest to revolution. And they were clamped down on violently. The U.S. government was afraid of the Black Panthers. You're not afraid of people, that don't have good theories. You're afraid of people that have something that's an actual thing that's obtainable. Freaking, the Black Panthers were a force to be reckoned with. They really were a force to be reckoned with. That's why do you think they killed Fred Hampton? Why do you think they imprisoned Huey P. Newton? Why do you think they clamped as hard as they did on the Black Panthers? Why did they do COINTELPRO against the Black Panthers? If their theories were not very good, then why did they go after them as harder than they ever did to CPUSA? That is the question. Did the Black Panthers have some things that might have been problematic? Yeah, of course. They're human beings, obviously. But their theories weren't wrong. I have to agree. We should be afraid of fascists because of what they're capable of. They've been training for decades. They've been preparing for decades for the inevitable collapse of America. In fact, it's something that they probably want because they can get rid of all the undesirable people that they, wanted to destroy for decades. The fascists are preparing. That's why we should be scared of how prepared they are. But the people will always be more powerful than the paper tigers. The thing that we do need to do is get enough people prepared as possible in order to combat such an inevitable reality. And are fascists terrifying? Of course they are. These people are they basically sold out their humanity because of of their hatred, for certain groups of people. Their entire ideology is based off the hatred of the other. That's exactly, what it is in a nutshell. And in all honesty, that's the reason why I cannot take these CPUSA members seriously. Because they're not serious about building a socialist movement. If they were, they wouldn't be part of the CPUSA. If they were serious about building a socialist movement, they would purge all the fucking feds in their party. They wouldn't be freaking bending over backwards for the establishment. Nor would they constantly fucking start shit with other Marxists who are actually doing shit and talking down to Marxists that are, not part of their fucking Fed party, or Marxists that have been, doing shit on the ground, and calling everyone fucking ultra left. They're not fucking serious. They're a bunch of fucking clowns. Well, how is the Black Panthers theory bad? Explain that to me. The very ideas of their programs, how is that bad? Tell me, how is that bad? Honestly, why would the bourgeoisie be scared of the Black Panthers? Why? Why would you be scared of such a party? You honestly, if the Black Panthers had bad ideas, then why would you clamp on them as hard as they did? The CPUSA has awful ideas, yet the government tolerates them. So I don't see any argument, honestly, to say that the Black Panthers, had nothing but bad ideas. They had good ideas, and yeah, they may have had some bad ideas, obviously. But how the hell can you tell me that they would clamp on them as hard as they did if they didn't have ideas that were a legitimate threat to the state? They were a threat to the state. They came the closest to revolution, more than any communist movement in America. Yeah, but what bad ideas are you talking about? You have to specify what bad ideas are you talking about. Give me an example of a bad idea of the Black Panthers. What bad ideas? What I've read for the Black Panthers, I didn't see anything that was, as bad as some other ideas I've heard from the CPUSA. I need to specify what bad ideas. Just give me an example of a bad idea. Because unless I'm giving an example, I cannot, None of this vague crap. Just give me an example of a bad idea the Black Panthers had. Honestly. Of course, one of the main reasons, other than their ideas being dangerous, why they were clamped on as hard as they were, it's because they were black. It was a black, movement that was out there to empower black people, and the U.S. government, at the time, did not want black people being empowered. They didn't want freaking a black messiah. That's why they freaking went after every single freaking potential threat to the state. Malcolm X was murdered. Martin Luther King was murdered. Fred Hampton was murdered. Huey P. Newton was murdered. And I cannot name all the other members of the Black Panther Party. I know one of them had to flee to Cuba because of false charges. I just don't think the government would go after them as hard as they did if every idea they had was bad. And I need to know, what bad ideas are you talking about? Because if you cannot elaborate, then I cannot comment on it at all. Honestly. I support the DPRK. That's all honestly. That should be obvious. And as for that server, I'm not going to unban you because that server wasn't meant for a person like you yet. Honestly, it's not ready yet. The server, I will not unban you until I think the server is ready to be public. That's my answer regarding that. Honestly, I'm just going to end this part of the stream regarding the, these people that constantly condescend and talk to, down to people that are actually serious about changing the system, actually want to change the system, and don't freaking want to, talk down to the masses or treat the masses like they're stupid. In all honesty, these people will get nowhere. The masses will just look at these people like they're fucking weirdos. And that's just how it's going to be. Honestly, they're not going to get anywhere. The masses, when they look at the likes of, Caleb Maupin and Noah and B-Level, if they were to see those people and they acted the way they did on the internet, on the streets, they'd fucking be punched in the face because, nobody wants some fake ass freaking person who isn't even real. Caleb Maupin especially is just more interested in building a cult than actually, fighting for the people. Noah is just more interested in picking fights with people and talking down to, people than actually fighting for the people. B-Level is the same goddamn way. It's like they're all the fucking same to me, honestly. As far as I'm concerned, if you're not serious about fighting for the people, then you should shut the hell up. Honestly, on who is and who isn't a real fucking communist. Because, as far as I'm concerned, I care about humanity first. I care about, who does this person have a correct position? You know what? I don't care. Honestly, if they're an anarchist and if they had a position that was correct, I will take their position over a third worldist position. If someone was, who also wasn't a communist that had a position that was correct, I would take that position. I believe in correct ideas. I do not believe in taking something because I am biased against my own tendency. So no, I don't believe that. Correct ideas matter, not tendencies. And that's the end of this segment. I already gave my opinion about Kim Jong-un. I support him, and I support the DPRK struggle against the United States. That's all I'll have to say. I'll say on Kim Jong-un. B-Level is nothing more than a fucking, a fucking bitch boy. And I don't tolerate people that support B-Level. So fuck off, fascists. I don't tolerate people that support that fascist fuck. Yeah, you're right. He isn't relevant, and I don't want to talk about B-level. Anyway, I'm going to, I just want to talk about something else and continue. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about that part I was talking about, and that's that portion of the stream, because I'm done. So now I'm just going to talk about something else. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, actually. I only addressed it B-level because of, Danky's stream. Honestly, that's the only reason I brought B-level up, because I just use B-level as an example of people that talk down to people, because he still does it to this day. He talks down to everybody that actually, has a valid fucking argument like Danky does. And you know what? I'll bring B-level up as much as I have to. If B-level says something that's ridiculous, or he does something condescending, I'm going to bring him up because he's a fucking condescending shithead. And I'm going to criticize him as much as I fucking want. So tough shit, B-level fanboy. I didn't even watch Venom 2. Venom 2? I thought you'd have some right. The first Venom. No, I haven't seen Venom. I refuse to see Venom. Spider-Man 3, oh god, it's such a piece of shit. Though it's not as bad as Homecoming, I will say that much. Okay, sorry, I just gotta move. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable. What is worth my time? You got to specify. As for Spider-Man 3, I don't know. I don't hate it as much as I used to. Honestly, considering there's far worse movies than, Spider-Man 3 that have come out. And Spider-Man 3, if you look at all the good moments in the movie, and you just you could see that there was potential for a good film in Spider-Man 3. And it's just studio meddling, ruined, that movie. Venom was completely shoehorned in Spider-Man 3. Honestly, Spider-Man 3, the best thing about the movie is the memes that were spawned because of it. Yeah, that line was kind of funny, even though it was freaking so bad. What's wrong, Goblin Jr.? Gonna cry? Yeah, that I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of funny. Just waiting. Not gonna lie, I might have to edit some portions of that last segment when I do it. That segment has its own stream. So yeah, let's see. I gotta think. What am I gonna talk about? Did I block your first account? I don't think I did. That was another person. I didn't ban you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not interested. Honestly, I'm not going to derail my stream. Sorry. Yeah, it's one of those movies that are so bad that it's funny. That's the thing that was funny about Spider-Man 3. I mean, I guess you could hear that we've all heard the term, a movie that's so bad it's good. Um, yeah. Let's see. I think I'm oh, I, I'm sorry. I do not know what you're saying. My, I'll have to get Google Translate. Sorry, do I have a feeling this? I'm not. Sorry, just give me a second, guys. Google Translate. All right, just give me a second. I'm just going to. All right. Hmm. All right, just give me a second. All right. I do not know what that person's saying, so I'm going to have to Google Translate. Sorry, I'm going to have to Google Translate because I don't know what you're saying. Oh, of course. It's one of those fuckers. My mother's dead, jackass. And if since you I don't are too much of a coward to actually, speak to me, okay, so you do understand what I'm saying. Well, I'm not tolerating you, so sorry. No, I'm not tolerating this. It must be one of those people. Whatever. I'll. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. The Room. Oh God, that movie. I've heard. I've never seen the movie, but I've heard about. I've heard of The Room. That it's so. It's one of those movies that are so bad that it's good. I believe. At least that's I believe what The Room. What I the vibe I get from The Room. Actually, or am I referring that to another movie? Does anybody have any ideas for topics I can talk about? Let's see. Sorry, people. I can't think of anything how to continue the stream. To be honestly, uh, oh well. In the future, I can edit all the crap in this for the better parts of the stream. My guilty pleasure movies. Guilty pleasure. What's my guilty pleasure? My guilty pleasure. I probably would say, you know, guilt. Sorry, movies. Sorry, I'm just gonna address that. Guilty pleasure. Let's see. Guilty pleasure. I probably would say the Power Rangers movie. Which one? Because there's three of them. I probably would say the one from the '90s. Not no. I'm referring to the first one in the '90s. I mean, it's bad. I know. I mean, it is probably a really bad movie, and I think we all know that it's bad with the questionable effects, the awful acting, and the suits like looking like, you know, I don't even know what to describe the suits. They look awful. I mean, I'm sorry. I know there's some people that are fans of the suits in the Power Rangers movie, but they just look stupid. Honestly, I was never a big fan of the suits, but that's why I like the, you know, the movie, because it's so bad. I mean, I think the only suit I could say that's probably good in the movie would probably be the, you know, the White Ranger suit. Then again, I guess the Die Ranger suit, you know, the only one that they used in Mighty Morphin, you know, the transition from, you know, an armor looking suit to, you know, the low budget suit just translates better than the Zoo Ranger suits, which, oh god, they're just unholy abominations. I just don't understand, you know, what was wrong with the simple original suits that they had for the show, but they wanted to prove, oh, we have a fucking budget. I mean, even the movie Power Rangers was pretty low budget, honestly, and the special effects have aged like milk, and the entire fucking plot of the movie is just so, it's just something that's so bad and it's funny at times. It's like, wow, I cannot believe, you know, 6 or 7 year old me actually liked this movie. Oh god, no, because you were never meant to be part of that server. Okay, stop being butthurt. Okay, I don't care. Stop bugging me about that. The Pokemon movies, I cannot comment on the Pokemon movies. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the Pokemon anime. If I have to be real, considering, you know, I was never a fan of, oh my god, look at Ash. Ash, you know, goes, catches all the Pokemon. He got all the badges. Oh wait, he went to the Pokemon League. Ash loses. Okay, first time. Okay, you know what? Ash might win next time. Nope. He loses again, and he loses again, and he loses again, and he loses again. It's rinse and repeat. That's just, you know, what the Pokemon anime is in a nutshell. And I haven't watched the anime as a result. Honestly. Oh god, it's this guy again. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure. Hold on, first, I'm not gonna do the ban hammer. So, you know, hastily. Okay, Jesus. Okay, I'm not gonna tolerate these. All right, let's see. All right. Oh yeah, Stalin, best leader in history. I, you know, yes, Stalin, the best leader in history. I wouldn't say the best, but he's definitely one of them. At least I hope it translated that correctly. Yeah, I agree. It's like none of these characters, you know, change over time. Honestly, it's just the poke. It's. I was in a contender. I was like in a position back, you know, when at the height of the Pokemon media, where, you know, where Digimon was a thing, and the problem is I was left with a choice because Digimon and Pokemon were on the same time slot, you know, but on different channels. Do I watch Digimon, which you know I was more entertained by, and not to mention I thought the monsters looked cooler, and not to mention, you know, there's an actual fucking plot in Digimon, or do I watch Pokemon knowing how, you know, the anime is going to go? So I just chose Digimon, and I never looked back because Digimon is simply a better, you know, anime series than Pokemon is. Yeah, the memes are definitely great. I've not seen the Snyder cut, and I'm probably not going to see the Snyder cut unless I pirate it because I'm not fucking paying
to see that shit. Fucking 4 goddamn hours. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know if I want to see the Snyder Cut. I'd probably do the Snyder Cut only to do a fucking video talking about how bad it is if I see the Snyder Cut. I'm just not interested in seeing it. I mean, 3 goddamn hours just to see, like, the Snyder Cut. It's like, oh, God. There's a freaking reason why that movie never, saw the light of day originally. Because nobody freaking wants to sit through a fucking movie that's 4 goddamn hours. Like, how the hell are you longer than Return of the King? Okay, yeah. Digimon had, Pokemon had better games until recently. Honestly. If I have to be honest here, Digimon, I think are better than Pokemon in terms of the games at this point. I mean, Sword and Shield, like, I played it for an hour and I just put the damn game down. With the constant tutorials, like, basically treating you like you're a moron, and the lack of options to, play the game how you want it to. Like, for God's sake, we're, like, this is 2020, and we still have fucking, Pokemon games that fucking look like 3DS games. Sword and Shield just looks like Sun and Moon in high resolution. That's all it fucking is. And not to mention, it's just $60 goddamn dollars for the same goddamn game, and there isn't anything interesting, about Sword and Shield. And it's like there's so much better games in the you can find that can get your fix if you're into, monster games. It's just not only that, most of the Pokemon that are interesting were cut from the game. And yeah, they did bring some of them back as DLC, of course. Yeah, of course they did. It's like the bare bones content in Sword and Shield. It's just, I just don't think it's that good of a game, honestly. And I just think Digimon with the most recent titles like Digimon Cyber Sleuth and its sequel, along with Digimon World, I forgot what they called. It's a Digimon game where you have 2 Digimon partners. That's like Digimon World 1. It's like the gameplay for the Digimon games are just better than Pokemon at this point, and it actually feels like an RPG. Well, Pokemon at this point, it's just, let's just focus mostly on the competitive aspect. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with competitive play, but that's not Pokemon to me. Like, Pokemon, what made it interesting was the single player, and the fact that the single players basically bare bones now just makes me lose interest in the game entirely. Ever since Pokemon went into 3D, honestly, Pokemon just lost what made it special. And now they're remaking Diamond and Pearl, which I don't have nostalgia for. And the art style that they're using for it, it's like it's not even in a freaking style that I think is appealing. It's like, let's do it in a chibi style. It's like, okay, why are you doing it that way? Okay, guys, I'll be back. All right. Damn it. All right. Sorry, I had to shut my window. I could always edit this part as a stream. I agree. Pokemon, I think, lost its charm after the 5th generation. It's just Pokemon, lost what made it unique in the first place. Ever since they went to 3D, Pokemon just has not been the same. In terms of its, gameplay, its atmosphere. It's just the Kalos region was pretty bland, if I must say so myself. Yeah, I put a lot of hours into X, but in all honesty, it's just you started seeing less content from the main game. And well, not main game, the like main story is better way. And it's just Pokemon is just more about, oh yeah, let's breed and do this and that. It's like that's all it is now. Pokemon, all it is just, competitive battles. That's all it is. It's like there's no option for anything else. It's like gone are the days when we had a robust, single player campaign and a robust post game. It's like there's a lot of freaking shit in, Pokemon, in the older games that I enjoy. And I think the multiplayer should not be the main focus, in my opinion. It should be the cherry on top. I think the single player should be the main aspect of the game, in all honesty. And I think that is why the older games are like better, in my opinion, because you could play those games as an RPG, but now they're slowly losing their RPG emulations, and it's more just a battle game that you can just play, competitively. And even the competitive aspect of Pokemon has been changed, where playing the games online now, what I've been hearing from people who played Sword and Shield, you can't even freaking do matches that are longer than 20 minutes. And anybody that's played Pokemon online knows that Pokemon matches can last a fucking long ass time because of all the strategy that you have to, come up with. You can't just freaking speed through it. No, that's not fucking, interesting. That the gameplay, it's just no. And not to mention Sword and Shield, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. You have the Switch, which is like 10 times more powerful, if not more. It's way more than 10 times, but it's at least over 20 to 30 times more powerful than the 3DS. And you could not, do a game that, looks like a game from, the current generation of Nintendo consoles. And it's the first Nintendo console to have a Pokemon game, a mainline Pokemon game, not a spin-off, a mainline Pokemon game, and the game looks like fucking a 3DS game, in HD. That's all it is. The gameplay is the same, even though you could do a lot more, with modern hardware. The graphics don't even look that much different. The difficulty is like piss poor. You don't you don't even have the option to adjusting, the difficulty. You have no option to adjusting like the if you want the XP share on or off. And not to mention, let's just compare Pokemon to Nintendo's other IPs, regardless of how we feel about Nintendo. It just seems like Pokemon is just the Madden of RPGs, honestly. Like, you just compare like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, to its predecessor on console, Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild is a massive open world game that makes freaking Skyrim look like a shit game by comparison. How open Breath of the Wild is, the amount of stuff that you can do in Breath of the Wild, like there's stuff that people are discovering, to this day that people didn't know when the game first came out. There's still a lot to discover in Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild is one of those games that, it could be as long or as short as you want it to be. Breath of the Wild is the ultimate Zelda game in the way that it's player choice, ultimately, at the end of the day, on how you want to progress through the game. You don't have to do all the extra stuff. You don't have to get all Link's memories. You don't have to get the Master Sword to defeat, Ganondorf. You don't have to, even do any of the dungeons to defeat Calamity Ganon at the end. You have the option to hell, you could go straight to Calamity Ganon at the start of the fucking game. That's what Pokemon doesn't give you, player choice. Fire Emblem Three Houses, takes, all the things that were wrong with Fates and actually does something with it. Choosing your own path, multiple endings. Not to mention, Three Houses looks like a modern Fire Emblem game. The graphics look crisp and beautiful. It isn't an ugly, bland looking game like Sword and Shield are. It just seems like, Game Freak just doesn't care anymore. And then you go to like the remakes of Diamond and Pearl. Now, I didn't play Diamond and Pearl when they came out, so I don't have nostalgia for those two games. I didn't get back into Pokemon until the remakes of Gold and Silver. But you're telling me they could not have used a similar graphic style as the remakes of Emerald and Sapphire? Like, we have to have this stupid chibi style. It's like, no. What? You're telling me we could not have had a remake of Diamond and Pearl with the modern Pokemon engine in order to, give us an actual remake that actually is different from the original, not just a remake of the DS version, but it's in 3D. It's like this to me reeks of cash grab to me. This looks like the biggest cash grab in the Pokemon series in terms of remakes since, Fire Red and Leaf Green. Because you're not going to be able to use all the Pokemon, I doubt it, that are currently available right now. It's probably going to be strict mostly to Gen 4. And maybe they'll keep some Pokemon from the other generations in the game. But other than that, I just see this one being very restrictive. Yeah, I hope so. Legend of Arceus looks something different, honestly, but I'm keeping my expectations low because it's Pokemon, and you can't expect anything for Pokemon, honestly, because, Pokemon is just, nothing more than a cash cow at this point. It's nothing more than a cash grab. It's like anything that made Pokemon great is, has been stripped away slowly. They've dumbed down the games. They removed post-game content almost entirely. And you even had some of the freaking people who were in charge of the games, even during the remake of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, even questioning why were they putting this much effort into a remake. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking logic those people have when it comes to Pokemon games. In all honesty, I like to check out, the fan-made Pokemon game that Nintendo took down or tried to take down in their pathetic attempt to, suppress it, because I've heard good things about it. It's something different. It's something new. And they did something different with the Pokemon formula. And you know what? There's probably fan games that are probably better than Nintendo's main titles. Because at this point, everything that I liked about Pokemon, almost all of it is gone. The collecting aspect of Pokemon I enjoy doing, it's gone. The single player campaign is gone. And it's replaced with a campaign that's extremely short that you'll go through for, very quickly. And not to mention, when you complete the game, you're just going to put it down unless you actually care about about playing online, which I don't. So yeah, that's Pokemon in a nutshell. It's just Pokemon in general. It's just basically, what happens when capitalism gets a hold of a video game series and doesn't allow the series to actually evolve. Yeah, it's true. Pokemon's formula hasn't changed since 1995. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying that Pokemon needs to play so differently that you don't recognize, how the game plays, but it's very true. They haven't changed the formula that much. The gameplay especially hasn't even changed that much. Like, if you compare Legend of Zelda its gameplay has changed multiple times, in the past, 30 years. From a from a top-down Zelda to a 3D Zelda game, hell, to, you know, Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. I mean, there's been multiple different ways to play Zelda games, throughout the years. And isn't it even the same, as like, you cannot tell me that Breath of the Wild is the same as Skyward Sword, or if Skyward Sword is the same as Ocarina of Time. They're different enough where they're unique. Same thing with it. Yeah, Majora's Mask may be a similar game to Ocarina of Time, but the game, is plays differently enough, and it has different enough, aspect to it where it's not the same way. Like Majora's Mask, you have to, actually do a lot more side stuff if you want to get the full ending of the game. Majora's Mask actually feels like a more immersive world than Ocarina of Time. It's like the experience between Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time is like night and day. It's like Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda game because I feel like it feels like a real breathing world that you actually walk into. Like the NPCs, you are the most interesting of any of the games in the franchise. The atmosphere is dark. I mean, Majora's Mask is such a dark and depressing story when you look at it deeply. And in all honesty, that's what makes the game great for me, because within that darkness is also characters that have hope for a tomorrow. And I love Majora's Mask, actually, because, Link at that point is at the lowest, probably one of the lowest point of his life. And I played Majora's Mask throughout various different points in my life, and I got a different thing out of it every time. Majora's Mask is definitely my favorite Zelda game, because I think not only do I think it has the best story, it has the best atmosphere and the best music for me. And that's why I will always rank Majora's Mask as my favorite Zelda game, honestly. Oh god, we do not meant the CDI games are so bad that they're good. I've never played them. Oh, I know. Only thing I know is AVGN's review of it. Yeah, even though the fan games may not have the stamp of approval that the mainstream Pokemon games have, the fans are willing to experiment with stories, gameplay. Hell, you have a fucking fan hack of a Pokemon game that basically is a fan fiction that actually has Pokemon, characters from various different points of the Pokemon, canon. Whether it's the manga, the anime, you have all these characters crossing over. I forgot what the name of this game was, but it also had Pokemon from various generations. It's like you do have freaking Pokemon games being made that are good, but most of those games are not made by none of those games are made by Nintendo. They're made by the fans. Because there's things that the fans have wanted for years in a Pokemon game, and Nintendo won't do it. There's fans that want an MMO for Pokemon. Nintendo won't do it. There's fans that want a darker story for Pokemon. Nintendo won't do it. Or Game Freak is more accurate to say. There's people, that freaking want to do away with the fucking types of Pokemon that we've been having for generations. Like, why does every, Pokemon generation have to be fire, water, and grass? Why can't we do something different? Why does it have to be the same starter types? And the starters have gradually gotten worse as the generations went on. I know this is I may be biased because Gen 1 was my first Pokemon generation. But if you look at the designs for, the first few generations, my favorite starters are probably from the first two generations. if you just look at how distinct they look, their designs, and their evolutions, it's like they have something you could identify immediately. It is gradually over time, the starters just slowly got worse. And they didn't do anything new with really they just took a other animal and just made him a fire type. It's like, why not have a psychic type or a steel type? It's like something different besides the same goddamn formula. And don't get me started how many generations we had of fire fighting. Yeah, they do, from what I've heard. Animal Crossing is more of those kind of games where you play to relax. It's you don't play it to get a challenge. Pokemon trainer, take in the team of that game is BreadTube. Oh god. Oh god. I can understand that. Yeah, because not everyone started with Gen 1 or Gen 2. Of course, those two generations will always have a special place in my heart because they were the first Pokemon games. And one thing I forgot, what was sorry. I think the elephant in the room of things that about Pokemon that really just pissed me off is how every new feature Nintendo adds that's actually good, that actually makes the games easier to play, makes it better to play, and actually improves the multiplayer experience or single player or both, they remove them. Like, remember how great X and Y's online was and how easy it was to find people, how easy it was to actually, if let's say you had a friend who played the game with you and you wanted to battle with them or trade, it was so easy. But they removed such convenient features and added some stupid feature and Sun and Moon that's like, wow, you removed probably one of the best things of Gen 6 and just gave it even worse iteration. Like, you could instantly find opponents easily and X and Y. They changed that. They ruined, such a good feature. And not to mention, another thing about Pokemon that, really grinds my fucking gears in general is, why the fuck are we still having two versions of Pokemon games in 2021? They're the same goddamn game. They're the same goddamn game. Oh, but Darth Sinovia, they have, different Pokemon that you cannot get in that version, and they have different legendaries, and and the plot in some of the games are different depending on which version. That's the fucking point. God damn it. They could include these as one goddamn game and fucking and it would probably work better. But no, they're just doing it to fucking make extra money. It's like only 2% of the game is fucking different if you fucking buy the opposite version. Like fucking like the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, why are they not just one game? It's but if you don't get that version, you're not able to get that Pokemon. It's like it's such bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit. It's ridiculous. Like, Jim Sterling was right. Honestly, when they said, like, Pokemon has been this way from the very beginning. It's like from the start of Red and Blue, you had freaking two versions of the same game when you probably could have put every Pokemon in one game. They could have done it with every fucking Pokemon game, but instead, they just did it just to sell fucking extra copies. And okay, do you in the States there was 3 different versions of of fire of red, blue, and yellow. In Japan, you had 4. Yeah, I don't know if you guys do that. Japan had 4 different versions of the first Pokemon games. You had red, which their red and was not the same as our red, and green, which the only difference is between those versions is the Pokemon. Japan released their blue version, which our versions of Pokemon Red and Blue are actually based on Japan's blue version, which actually fixed majority of the problems that the original, red and green suffered from. It's like you have 4 fucking different versions. And hell, if you just got yellow as your Pokemon game, let's just say you got that back in the day, you couldn't complete the Pokedex. You couldn't get all the fucking Pokemon because there are certain Pokemon you cannot get in yellow. So it's all a fucking bunch of fucking bullshit. And why couldn't this been one game? It's like we're on fucking console now. There's no longer any excuse why these things cannot be one game. Not to mention in Sun and Moon, making certain clothing exclusive to whatever version you bought. It's like, wait, what? You cannot get all this in whatever version you get, so you have to own both. That's bullshit. It's like Pokemon is one of the biggest cash grabs in gaming history, and people still haven't seen it. That Pokemon, why aren't fans demanding Nintendo to release one fucking version of fucking Pokemon games? It's so ridiculous how we're still doing fucking 2 versions to this fucking day, despite the fact that you have more than enough fucking memory on the cartridge to fucking include it all in one. Where the fuck is my water? Sorry. I've been talking. Oh, fuck. I'll have to edit that. I've been editing this. Sorry, editing. I've been fucking ranting for almost God knows how long, and I just need something to drink. Okay. The fact that there's still fucking 2 versions of the same game, and well, in a lot of cases, in the first few generations, 3 different versions is ridiculous. I honestly, when it comes to Pokemon, I unfortunately do not have my original Red or my original Silver. But the Pokemon games that I own, honestly, I own most of the DS games. Not every version of them, but I own most of them. The ones that I care about. I have Platinum. I have Soul Silver. I have, White and White 2. So yeah, and of course I own bootlegs. Unfortunately, they're not original fucking games, because getting a legitimate copy of Gen 3 Pokemon games is impossible. But I have bootleg copies of, all the Gen 3 games. I have X, I have Alpha Snapfire, I have Sun, and I have Ultra Sun, and I have Sword. So yeah, I fucking did more. I've contributed more than enough to Pokemon in order to fucking say, that, yeah, this series has become a cash grab. Okay, and most of the titles I've listed, I didn't buy brand new. I bought them used. And not to mention, let's just say you want to play an old Pokemon game. Let's just say you just don't care about the new ones. You just want to play the old ones. You can't even fucking get the freaking old games for a fucking good price because of how goddamn expensive it is. Like the DS games, which I did say DS because DS emulation still has a ways to go. Emulating, the DS Pokemon games, I'd rather play them on the actual hardware or 3DS. It's fucking ridiculous. You can't even get the games for a decent price because scalpelers fucking charge up the ass. Like, Pokemon games aren't fucking rare, and they're fucking like ridiculous in terms of price. Why are you charging fucking $80 to $100 for a Pokemon game that's fucking not even hard to find? Like they weren't that hard to find a few years ago, but now because the fucking scalpelers freaking and the Let's Play streamers have to fucking, which they make a stupid requirement, you must have the legitimate copy of the game. Fucking Pokemon are so goddamn expensive. So even if you want a legitimate copy, you can't. And if you want to get a copy of the freaking GBA versions of certain Pokemon games, that's fucking expensive. And by that point, it's like, you know what? Get those fucking, emulate this fucking shit for free, considering, GBA is fucking easy to emulate. So there's no point of trying to fucking track these games down. I mean, if you could get a physical copy, if you get a bootleg of, Gen 3, who fucking cares? I mean, seriously, who fucking cares? Yeah, I fucking hate it too. I hated it even as a kid. And it's the reason why, me and my brother, who both liked Pokemon, I wasn't able to complete my copy of Red because how often my brother wanted to play Red. He wanted to play Pokemon too. So, my grandmother who did understand, it's like, why the hell are you asking to get the same game? It's like, my grandmother knew it was a cash grab, and she knew fucking, but when she found out, we couldn't share a game for Pokemon, that she reluctantly she bought my brother his own copy. It's like, it's all fucking bullshit. It just gets an excuse for parents to buy the same goddamn game multiple times. It's I will give Nintendo credit for one thing. It is a brilliant strategy to get parents who have multiple kids who want Pokemon to have their own copy. It's brilliant, and I will give them credit for that. Let's go Eevee. But then Let's Go Eevee, I'm surprised, that game, that game is all but forgotten, honestly. I mean, the Pokemon games I'm referring to, by the way, the 3DS titles, they're not hard to find right now. You could get them all digital, but it won't be, for much longer that Nintendo won't just shut down the eShop. Once that gets shut down, those games will become even harder to find than they are now. The physical copies are going to become even rarer, and as a result, you're not going to be able to fucking find them. That's another reason why, Pokemon games, you're kind of pressured to pre-order them or buy them as close to the release date as possible, because if you don't, fucking, they'll become so goddamn hard to find that you'll fucking be paying like a fucking arm and a goddamn leg just to, get those fucking games. Honestly. Of course, if you have a 3DS or anything like that has the ability to get those games for free, because you could download the game or get the iOS or whatever you do for 3DS, I'd fucking do it. There's no shame of doing that. I don't think you own the company is a fucking thing. You are not wrong to do that. Honestly, and let's be honest, I'm not going to shame anyone. First, honestly, I'm going to just get out of the Pokemon talk, because I think this is a good topic to segue into. This. There is no shame pirating video games. There is no shame in doing it, unless it's an indie developer that and that is who don't charge ridiculous money for their games, there is no shame. In fact, even then, I don't shame anyone for, pirating their games. Why, do I, not shame people? And why I don't think you should either, because it's a fucking bourgeois fucking mindset to have. I prefer to, have my games physical because I prefer physical copies of games. However, I'm not gonna, condemn someone for, pirating games or pirating a certain game series, because I don't fucking. Let's be real. Most of these developers, they don't give a shit about how, they don't care about the people that they work for them. Most of these developers, they treat their workers like shit. They, do a bunch of fucked up shit behind the scenes. They, especially Activision, who fucking escapes fucking paying taxes. Like, we're fucking paying for taxes of a bunch of fucking leeches. It's like, I have no sympathy for these companies. And not to mention, a lot of these fucking companies fucking make subpar games anyway. So who gives a shit if somebody pirates a game? Honestly, who fucking cares? Like, go to the high seas. Who gives a shit? Who really cares? And not to mention, some of these companies like do such fucked up practices and freaking do a bunch of shit that actually makes the things worse anyway. It's like, who cares? It's not freaking, wrong to fucking want to pirate something. Honestly, I mean, pirating a fucking video game is not fucking stealing, in my opinion. Considering you don't need a video game to survive. And not to mention, freaking most of these companies fucking make billions of dollars anyways. Like, who gives a shit if you fucking, pirate a game from Nintendo or fucking Sony or Microsoft or Activision or EA? Who gives a shit? If you do it, I'm not going to condemn you. In fact, I encourage people to do it. Why is that? Because a lot of these companies, especially the ones in the States, I cannot speak for the ones in, Europe or in Japan, but they fucking dodge taxes. They pay their workers fucking shit wages. Their workers could barely make ends meet despite working for possibly the biggest industry, in the world, arguably. And you still have people that can't fucking, make ends meet. It's like, who fucking cares if you fucking steal from those people? And in all honesty, the hours they work for these people, some of these games that fucking people don't seem to understand that they may enjoy were made by people that did crunch time, people that freaking, it worked to the point of exhaustion to get these games out. And we only know about certain ones, like, The Last of Us Part 2 and a few other games, that have had similar, instances of crunch time. Yeah, I agree. Similar instances of crunch time. I mean, seriously, why in the living mother of fuck do we care what gamers do? Who people who don't want to fucking pay for these games, because you know what? I don't have the money. And not to mention, games are getting so goddamn expensive now. It's like, why should I pay $70 goddamn dollars for a fucking, freaking game that is a buggy fucking mess? Honestly, video games shouldn't even fucking be costing like as much as they do. It's bullshit. Like, with digital distribution, especially, why are we paying the same price for a game digitally as physical? You don't have to ship a fucking digital copy. You don't have to freaking make a digital copy. You just put the goddamn code on the fucking, on the fucking network. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a certain amount of codes you basically give to freaking people, but still, it doesn't cost that much compared to shipping disc, making a disc to freaking make a game. So there's no reason why digital copies of games should fucking be more, just as much, if not more, than in many cases in physical copies. Because depending on which company you buy it from, like a digital copy will remain more expensive than the physical copy, because the price they charge for their games remains the same almost throughout the entire generation. Yeah, I knew about that. And I know, people are like, "Oh, I don't want to hear about this. I just want to enjoy my video games. I don't want to be shamed and feeling guilty about the stuff that I enjoy." Well, you know what? Tough fucking shit. Because by saying that, I don't want to hear about this sort of things, I don't want to hear about politics, in my video games, you are enabling game developers to abuse their fucking workers. And if the abuse of workers doesn't mean a goddamn thing to you, then I'm sorry. I don't fucking care if you get offended if gaming journalists talk about politics of video games, because fucking working people, who actually work for a living to make these goddamn games, to make these games what they are possible, they're treated like shit. It's one of the worst industries to work for. And honestly, any passion for video games, a lot of it will die if when you actually become part of the industry, because of how they treat their fucking workers. And anybody that denies all this stuff with the accusations mounting, some of the companies have fucking sexual abusers in charge. It's like, no, just fucking no. It's like there comes to a point where you either take a stand and say, no, this is fucking bullshit, we shouldn't be treating workers this way, or you just value your hobby more than you value the lives of working people. In all honesty, I care about working people, and people should not be fucking pressured to be working 14 to 16 hours a day just so some middle class fucking privileged fucking guy on the internet could fucking, stream a fucking video game or bitch about a video game because it doesn't meet their expectations. No, fuck you. I care about the lives of freaking a working class people who, who could barely meet ends meet in one of the biggest industries. Fucking video games take a lot of fucking skill to freaking make. Like, this isn't something you could freaking do easily. You have to have, a degree in what, like, I don't even know what programming skills that you need, but you have to have something. Yet, in order to actually do what these game developers do, it's one of the hardest things to do. It's a skill that you do need to go to college for, depending on what part of the gaming department you work for. And the fact that a skill that difficult is something you could barely survive on, that's bullshit. That's exploitation. You're exploiting skilled workers and making them work for almost fucking nothing. Yeah, I agree. Jim Sterling's always been right. And that's why right-wingers hate him. Right-wingers hate Jim Sterling. Because every time that they have exposed the gaming industry, fucking these right-wingers fucking don't like it. Because, a leftist or a left-leaning gaming journalist exposing the gaming industry and actually exposing fucking how bad things really are. Oh no, we fucking can't do that. We can't actually have somebody actually talk about the abuse of workers. We have to complain about SJWs saying a bunch of stupid shit on the internet, saying a bunch of stupid shit, complaining about Nina Arkezian for like the millionth time. But we cannot talk about the abuse of workers unless it's convenient to shit on a game like The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah. If we had an open source, engine where everybody can fucking use it, we wouldn't need these goddamn game developers. You could have fucking talented fucking people work on video games and leave these motherfuckers, in the dust. It's like anybody that has an interest in video games, like there's like literally no point. Considering the industry itself is fucking exploitative, and it not only exploits people through their labor and then in their time, it also exploits fucking people that have who have issues mentally when it comes to gambling or when it comes to compulsive disorders. It exploits fucking people, that have illnesses. It's like it's a disgusting industry. And Jim Sterling is one of the few fucking people that actually expose this industry for the monster that it is. It's a fucking monster. And the gaming community is just as bad. Yeah, okay, it's they. Okay, well, Jim Sterling, in all honesty, just is one of the few people that actually cares. They don't sugarcoat fucking how bad this is, and the gaming community as well. The gaming community just doesn't fucking care. They don't give a fuck that, the most exploitative industry is treating their workers like they're fucking animals. And no, I'm not going to die on this. Sorry. No, I'm not going to freaking, change my mind on this. I'm going to die on this fucking hill. The gaming industry is exploitative, and gamers as a whole fucking enable it. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you're fucking pissed off that, SJWs fucking supposedly ruined, your fucking video games. I don't fucking give a shit if they did that. I fucking don't. I care more about fucking things that actually matter. Working people who work in this industry, who spent years learning all the skills that it would take to be a programmer, to do all the stuff that's required to make a video game, and their fucking skills are exploited. I don't fucking care. No, it takes a long time to learn those skills. And the very fact that they're paid as low as they are, and these fucking leeches in the gaming industry can fucking rank billions of dollars for doing fucking jack all, not doing anything. No. And you have fucking bootlicking fucking fascists that fucking no, Activision is not a bad company to work for. Yeah, say that to the fucking workers that fucking are below them. It's like, honestly, the issue with the gaming community as a whole, there is no working class culture in the gaming community. We have a fucking middle class entitlement culture in the gaming community. That's the reason why, things are as bad as they are. That's why fucking gaming is as toxic as it is, because there is no working class gamers out there. There is none that are even loud and proud or actually talk about these issues. It's always fucking middle class entitled man children. That's all this is. Oh, Darcenovia, middle class, people are working class. I'm sorry, but if you can afford, to miss a few days of work a year, you're not working class. If you have a job that pays well, no, you're not fucking working class. Working class is people that have to work 2 or 3 jobs and they could still barely fucking make ends meet. In all honesty, but working class people, poor people shouldn't be playing video games. If you have to live within your means. Fuck you. No. Working class people should be able to enjoy fucking gaming just like fucking everybody fucking else. Honestly, fuck that. Honestly, fuck that. Seriously, fuck that. And I'm being serious. Fuck that. We need a working class culture within the gaming community. We fucking need it. If we want to actually have a healthy fucking community, we need working class culture, not entitled middle class fucking culture. That because that's what the gaming community essentially is in a nutshell. Oh yeah, I fucking agree with that. Thanks to them, we can no longer play as the Red Army. Fuck yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. If I can't even play as the Red Army, fuck you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's definitely true. It's like fucking. It's like these fucking people, you know. Oh my god, Darcenovia, you're anti-working class. No, I'm pro-working class. That is why I advocate that gamers have a fucking working class culture. And you think these fucking hobbies are strictly belong to the fucking middle class? Fuck that. There's more middle class fucking people in this hobby than people, would like to actually admit. There's a lot more. Just like there's working class people in fucking comic book circles and manga and whatever. There's working class fucking people in there. Working class people need to be the dominant fucking culture in this community. Not a bunch of middle class fuckheads that fucking bitch all day about how evil SJWs are or how fucking evil fucking left wing freaking gaming journalists like Jim Sterling is. No, we need an actual working class fucking culture where you have people that are fucking working class that are actually basically advocating for some of the same things I'm advocating for. We need to fucking actually hold these companies accountable. Stop fucking, supporting these goddamn companies when they fucking do shit. Stop supporting abusive companies that abuse their fucking workers. We need to show some fucking solidarity to fucking workers. Not, oh my god, I want to play this video game, but I don't know, I'm torn. No, we need to show solidarity to fucking workers. Enough of this, oh, I care about nobody but myself. To hell with that. Seriously. To hell with that. Yeah, they could do it. They could easily do that. And that's the thing. The fucking working class need to fucking take the fucking narrative and actually they're the ones that should be dominating the fucking narrative, not middle class people, not a bunch of labor aristocrats, not those fucking people like young Simpa or like Geeks and Gamers and any of these other fucking clowns. We need actual working people, taking this narrative that actually should be the dominant voices. But we don't have that. We never will because the gaming community is extremely reactionary and entitled. They don't care about working people. They don't care that you have people that are fucking literal slaves working who actually have fucking a skill that is not easy to learn and they can't fucking use that skill and not get paid fucking shit wages. Yeah. Yeah, in all honesty, that's just my point. Honestly, I think I finished my point in this stream. Like, at least in this segment, is we need a working class culture in the gaming community. We need to stop, and I mean this, we need to stop fucking, with this bullshit. We need to stop, allowing middle class people dominating the narrative. And I do think it's morally justified to pirate video games, considering what the industry does to its people, how working class people who could barely make ends meet are treated. No, no, we know. I think we need a working class culture in the gaming community. It's never going to happen, unfortunately. And yeah, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, Darsenovia is anti-working class," even though I am pro-working class, and I actually think the middle class are not working class, at least not in the way that you would think. If you, I let's reiterate this one more time. If you can afford to miss a few days, you know, out of the entire year, if you could hit without, becoming homeless as a result, then I'm sorry, you're not working class. You're middle class. You could afford to miss a few days. If you could afford to miss hell you could if you could afford to like miss like even a week or two, you're not working class. Working class is one day and you're homeless. That's working class. And in all honesty, that's just how I feel about it. The middle class, they're not the kind of people that I think should be controlling this narrative, and that's why things have gone to shit. That's why the gaming community is as reactionary as it is. That's why gaming is as bad as it is because everybody has to cater to the fucking lowest of the low of the fucking society, and that is middle class fucking people. Middle class culture is nothing more than consumerist bullshit. And that's where I stand on it. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this stream actually, because honestly, I'm kind of losing my voice considering how long I've been doing this stream for. So, yeah, I will edit probably, you know, multiple sections of the stream into his own video. This stream, turned out better than I expected. Honestly, it at first, the momentum wasn't there, but I feel like I gained the momentum towards the end. And yeah. So, red salute, comrades. See you guys next time with another video. And whatever you do, stay safe, wear a mask, and don't be an asshole. And may the force be with you always.